With the recent release of the new Scary Movie, there are now 6 Scary Movies in the franchise, and I'm going to rank them all right now. Let's discuss. Hello and welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, then welcome on in. My name is Jay. As I said in the intro, in this video I'm going to be ranking all 6 Scary Movies. Spoilers ahead for all Scary Movies that are in the franchise, but not really, I suppose, because what can you really spoil about the Scary Movies? They're not exactly known for their big twists. Very quickly though, before we get started, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already, and go ahead and hit that bell beside it, that way you are notified when I post a new video. Have you done it? Okay, I hope so. Let's get into the ranking. In 6th place, I have placed Scary Movie 5 from 2013. I'll admit it, I did actually laugh out loud at a couple of scenes in this movie. I did hear that it was an abomination of a film, but there was some bits that I did find admittedly funny. That opening scene of the bedroom antics, we've got Charlie and Lindsay, played by Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan, doing all sorts of ridiculous activities such as gymnastics, all of which to the Benny Hill theme I thought was a really strong and effective opening. Lindsay Lohan even gets a funny quip in about the amount of times that she's been arrested. I thought that was quite funny as well. Charlie's death at the start of the movie actually leads us into the rest of the film's story, though I did wonder if that had come about in conjunction with Charlie Sheen perhaps not wanting to do another full production of a scary movie and perhaps wanted to be written out. Of course, that probably isn't the case, given that Sheen appears to be a different character than he has been in previous entries in the Scary Movie franchise, and as we know from this movie, not all characters even get a chance to get written out. We don't have Cindy Campbell, played by Anna Faris, nor do we have Brenda Meeks, played by Regina Hall. It's the first and only entry in the franchise in which they do not appear. Instead, they are replaced by new cast member Ashley Tisdale in the lead role as Judy Sanders, who becomes the adoptive mother of the late Charlie Sheen's, or whatever the character's played by Charlie, his last name is, becomes their adoptive mother. I did originally question whether or not they had actually got Morgan Freeman to do the voiceover for this film, before realising that no, it was someone doing an impression of him, because why on earth would Morgan Freeman agree to do a scary movie, not least the 5th one in this franchise. Other parts I laughed at included the I Preggers app, the amount of times that kids got punched and then they punched the adults back, Judy becoming a mother but immediately losing the baby being set on fire, Judy simply hitting her guitar against the lights and wondering why they were flickering, and the introduction of the furry family member, only to pan over to the housemaid Maria. You will notice that all of these things happen near the very start of the film, and that is because I got bored very quickly. One of the problems that this film has is that the properties that it's actually parodying just aren't as notable. As with all scary movies, if you've seen the films that they're actually parodying, then you're probably going to have a more enjoyable time, though I'm not sure how much that helps here in Scary Movie 5. Admittedly, I've not seen Paranormal Activity or Black Swan, but I did get the references. They just weren't that funny. I know that when actors sign up to doing these films that they'll be aware that they're committing themselves to doing some pretty weird stuff, but you've got to feel for Ashley Tisdale in this one, who must have felt really awkward filming some of those bedroom scenes, and the furniture around her, we'll say, and the things that she does with them. Addison Montgomery Shepherd also shows up at one point for a minute of screen time for some reason. I'm guessing this is after her divorce from Derek, but I'm not really sure on the timeline here. As well as that, we've got Kaylee Dunphy, and I'm guessing this is after Modern Family finishes and she's left Dylan alone at home with the kids. It's no surprise that Scary Movie 5 effectively killed the franchise for 13 years before the Legacy sequel eventually came along in 2026 and attempted to revive the property. Scary Movie 5 is easily the worst in the franchise, though admittedly it is not completely awful. I did laugh at some parts, but unfortunately it just quickly turns into a boring slog to get through. It's kind of ironic because of all the scary movies, I might have the most to say about this one. Overall, it gets 1 star from me. In 5th place, I have got Scary Movie 4. This one I've actually placed marginally lower than the next entry on the list, and I'll explain why, because this entry and the next one really kept flip-flopping, they kept changing places. First off, I think the decision for Scary Movie 4 to open with the parody of Saw was a really smart choice. I was worried that after that opening scene, and we did do the Saw reference, that we were done with the parody of that film, or that franchise I should say, but thankfully the latter half of the film puts us back in that famous bathroom. And that's exactly like Saw 2 does, when obviously in that film you think we're done with the first one, we're in the sequel now, but eventually it all ties back to where we began. So I really liked that. Saw is easily one of my favourite horror movies, and I think given that the next scary movie on my ranking contains some references that I didn't really care for, this is what made me question whether or not Scary Movie 4 should be higher on the list. In the end, I kept Scary Movie 4 in 5th place. Other things did happen, but nothing really memorable. I haven't seen The Village, which is one of the films that this scary movie parodied, though I had heard of War of the Worlds, which is apparently a decent film. The 2005 one, that is, not the 2025 Ice Cube one. Still, the creative team knew that this franchise was going downhill, hence their decision for the next movie to be a total reset, even if that reset wasn't very successful. For Scary Movie 4, I'm giving it 2.5 stars. At number 4, I have got Scary Movie 2 from 2001. And a lot of people may be surprised that I have this one so low, and to be honest, so am I. The creative team is pretty much identical to the first movie, which obviously is going to be higher up on this list, but hey, 4 out of 6 is not bad. I didn't really care for the Exorcist opening, and maybe that was a sign that this wouldn't be one of my favourite scary movies, that I wasn't going to be as fond as this one as I was the first one. The first scary movie, which I will get into later, had lots of references to iconic horror films. The problem with Scary Movie 2 is, though, it came out just 1 year, just under 1 year actually, after the first one was released. That's such a small time frame between installments, and because the first film used some of the best movie templates that had currently been released, this one was kind of just left with what they hadn't used yet, and it just wasn't as impressive to me. To me, having such a short time frame between installments just highlights how rushed this production probably was. On a more positive note, Anna Faris really does solidify herself as a brilliant comedic actress, with the cat fight sequence being particularly entertaining. Also, I liked seeing Tim Curry, as well as Ian from Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's Uncle Ian, what's he doing here? Standout moments for me included the basketball scene, which of course played on the infamous Nike Freestyle commercial, the wheelchair race, and the unexplained construction of a bulldozer to escape a freezer. I laughed a lot at that. Overall, Scary Movie 2 gets 2 stars from me. Going into the top 3 then, I have got the most recent Scary Movie, also known as Scary Movie 6. If you've already seen my Scary Movie 6 review, then you already know my thoughts on this movie, and if you've not, then go watch it, link in the description and I'm sure somewhere on the screen as well. Still, I will try not to repeat myself too much here. Scary Movie 6 of course features the return of both on-screen and off-screen talent, with the Wayans returning alongside stars Faris and Hall. I understood almost all of the references made in this film, which included Scream 6, Megan, Weapons, Longlegs, Get Out, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Since the franchise had been on ice for so many years, it was nice that we had some time to build up some titles that this franchise, or this latest entry I should say, could actually parody, as it was clear by Scream 5 in 2013 that we were really running out of ideas. Unfortunately though, I think such references went really underused in the film. I wanted to see more of Megan, who really made her mark in that first film of hers that got released. We won't talk about the second one, but certainly in the first one she went viral. She's in one scene of this film. Same goes for Weapons, that was in the trailer. I think Aunt Gladys was in the trailer as well. She didn't even appear in the film, and the actual Weapons parody lasted maybe less than a minute. I did laugh a lot more than I did with the previous 3 entries on this list though. I'll say it again that I think playing on Jenna Ortega and the fact that she plays Wednesday Addams in the Netflix show, but calling her Tuesday in this film, I think that was pretty genius. Still, a lot of the jokes were met with silence from the audience. I think that there was an over-reliance on sex jokes. A bunch of unfunny gags were included as well that related to COVID-19, the January 6 riots, and even the recently viral 6-7. There was a whole K-pop Demon Hunter sequence that I thought was incredibly out of place. Not because it wasn't funny, but I just don't think that the audience going to see this film were necessarily the audience who have seen that. It did not go down well in my cinema, and that's all I can go off of. The audience in my cinema, though, did laugh a lot at Marlon Wayans returning as Shorty Meeks, who has not appeared since Scary Movie 2 back in 2001. But I just didn't find him funny, sorry. I think that that character's charm was used up pretty soon into the first movie. Scary Movie 6 gets 2.5 stars from me. In second place, which by process of elimination you'll probably be able to figure out what I've got in first place, but in second place I have got Scary Movie 3. Now under a new creative direction, I actually found that Scary Movie 3 was a drastic improvement from Scary Movie 2. There were so many good gags, including the sheriff's hat getting bigger with every cutaway that we had to her, Cody repeatedly getting run over, Brenda genuinely being funny with the amount of time that she was faking her death, a literal Simon Cowell cameo, the Autocue mishaps in the newsroom, the attempts to revive Brenda while she lies in her coffin, the defibrillator ironically almost killed me. I thought that that was one of the best things that Scary Movie has ever produced. There was a lot to love here. The cast was also on top form, and I really liked the late Leslie Nielsen in his role as the President of the United States. I don't have much else to say on Scary Movie 3, although it doesn't have as many recognisable gags as maybe some of the other Scary Movies do. The consistent flow of humour makes up for it, and it makes it a pretty enjoyable watch overall. I'm going to be giving Scary Movie 3 3.5 stars. At number 1 then, it is no surprise that I have placed the original Scary Movie from 2000. I think I watched this movie around 15 years ago, and although I don't remember much about it, there are still a few iconic scenes that stick out in my head all these years later. In particular, Cindy being chased by Ghostface as she runs up the stairs, throwing down everything she can to stop Ghostface from attacking her, and that includes a piano and what's presumably her grandmother, is my favourite scene in the entirety of the franchise. It's yet to be beaten. Some of the laughs, admittedly, didn't hit as much as I hoped they would have, or as much as they might have when I was a lot younger, but we do still have those legendary moments to make up for that. I've teased this already in some of the previous films I've talked about, but I think opening your film with a parody of the most famous horror movie of all time is incredibly smart. As well as that, the references made are very well known, and I got nearly all of them as well. You've got Scream, of course, I Know What You Did Last Summer, which I've mentioned a few times, the Blair Witch Project, and even The Matrix. I really like how Cindy Campbell is not just a spoof of Neve Campbell's Sidney Prescott from Scream, but also I Know What You Did Last Summer's Julie James, who of course is played by Jennifer Love Hewitt. We've got the iconic What Are You Waiting For Scream, and I thought that Anna Faris did an excellent job of delivering that. Matching the same score as the number 2 entry on this list, Scary Movie 3, the original Scary Movie gets 3.5 stars from me. So there we are, there's my ranking of all 6 scary movies in the franchise. If you enjoyed the video, then please do give the video a like, and I will remind you to hit that subscribe button along with the bell. Also, if you've got your own ranking, please do feel free to stick them in the comment section down below. Do you agree? You disagree? Just remember, whatever you say, my opinion is just that. It's not the right list, it's just what I think. That is all for this video though. I will thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.